guys, welcome back to Omni Garage. Today we're here at Wyatt Machine Tools and we're here to play with a few of the toys.
So Paul from Wyatt Group, he's invited us down to Auckland here today, and he's the biggest distributor for Rupes tools throughout New Zealand, and we've come down, we've had a go on the tools. Hopefully we're going to learn some sort of process and learn about the Rupes, the steps involved to polishing a car, and Bev, here's our operator. He's going to show us through what we need to know.
Yeah, hi guys, welcome. I'm Bevan Bradley from Wyatt Machine Tools. It's great to have you here.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully we can run through a few of these tools today, the BigFoot polishing system, and get you up to speed of what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve here.
So we've got three key tools that we're going to have a play with today. You don't need all of these in order to detail your car, but if you were to pick three, the three that we're going to test today would be them. So what are the three tools that we've got here? Just a really quick overview, Bevan.
Okay, so the three tools we'll be looking at today is the LHR15. This is the latest Mark III version. It has the variable speed control with variable trigger. Runs 150mm pad. It's a great go-to tool for any car enthusiast and also your high-end detailers. Then we're going to look at the 75, LHR 75, which is the mini BigFoot. Takes a 75mm pad, variable speed again, very good for in the areas a little bit hard to get to. And then you've got your Nano iBrid, which is the small battery operated or power packed, and that takes a 40mm pad or a 70mm pad. Very good for edge work and things. So we'll run through them, have a play with all of them, and hopefully
Hopefully we'll learn something.
We'll all learn a bit more, I think.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into it.
Let's
All
have a look.
right, thank you guys. The three machines that you asked the questions about, which is the Rupes BigFoot polishers. You got the 15, LHR 15. Okay. So this runs a 150mm pad, has a variable speed control. The newest feature on the Mark III is it has a variable trigger as well. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. They do have the 21. The big difference with that is it runs a bigger pad. Okay. With the 15, you have a 15mm orbit. That basically means that throw is 15 mils. Okay. The 21 has a 21mm throw.
Okay.
All right.
And does that mean that 15 has to have a 15-inch pad on there?
It has to have a 150mm pad because it goes from 150 to 125 because of the taper of the pad. Okay. The 21 has a 21mm throw, so it's got a bigger throw, but the actual finish is no different. Okay. That both are going to remove swirl marks.
So
holograms.
Are you going to cut quicker? You're going to get around a vehicle quicker with the 21?
Some people say that. Not really.
Okay.
No, if you were doing large flat areas, maybe the sides of trucks, curtain siders, boats and things like that, yes, having a bigger pad is going to be an advantage. When you're doing cars, vehicles, with
contours and
mouldings and things like that, where you want to get down underneath the bottoms of the guards, around mud flaps, that sort of stuff, the 15 is probably a more user-friendly machine. So with it, like I say, it's got variable speed control, variable trigger. They have a nice long lead on them now.
It's a huge power cord.
Huge lead, so you don't really have to run them through extensions.
So with the trigger, does that mean you can set it to like a level 2 or a level 3 and it will start there, or do you have to?
You actually control it by moving it in and out. You actually control it by.
Okay. It just doesn't start at a particular, it's like an accelerator.
The speed control adjusts your speed, so that'll bring the machine up to a certain speed, rev range, but then you have this opportunity so that if you are going around a headlight or a handle or something and you want to slow the machine down, you can, without having to use the dial.
Without having, if you've got control.
You've got control.
That's really helpful.
It is.
I think that's great.
This would be my favourite machine.
Because a lot of the machines have got like you put it on number 2, you push the button on, off, and it's boom, done, you know.
And that's it.
You can't control that.
You need to control it because you've got to remember that these are using a random orbit action. And they have a rotation as well. So you've got to try not to stall the rotation. You pick that up the more you use them. I'll show you that. We'll go through that.
And so you put the black mark on the pad. Is that so that you know whether you're stalling or not?
Correct. Usually you put a black mark on either side of the pad, just with a vivid, and you can tell when the rotation's stalled because you'll see that mark.
And that was one of the issues that we found when we were polishing the WRX, is that with the machine we were using, it was just no way to really tell. We had a little bit of tape on the backing plate, but just no way to tell when it was actually cutting or doing what it was meant to do.
It's fine to stall the rotation when you come up on a swage or into a corner or somewhere concave or something like that. It's not so bad. You can stall it for momentarily. It's not a matter. It's still going to be cutting, but it's just if it's all the time, and that can come down to too much weight, the wrong speed. All right. Sometimes you've got the speed either too slow or too fast. You do have to sort of find that happy medium.
And is that just trial and error? Or
Yeah,
can
it
you
is.
see what's happening on?
It is really. You'll feel the machine.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll feel the balance of the machine and how it works.
Yeah.
If you take one of these pads for argument's sake, you feel that the weight of that.
Okay, so it's quite light.
There's nothing in
Nothing to it. Yeah.
There's nothing to it. Okay. Now, if we take that pad off that machine and start that machine's quite vibrating. Okay. It's not nice to hold in your hand.
Yeah.
As soon as you put that pad on, that's what balances out the machine and everything else like that.
That's quite clever.
Yeah, so Rupes have designed the machine so that everything works together, the balance and with the pads, with the eccentrics,
Everything
the bearings.
adds to make this machine nice, well balanced and easy to
Correct.
use. Yeah.
So, you know, if you put other pads and that on it and you wonder why you're having different problems,
It's going to unbalance it, is it?
it's going to unbalance it, and you will notice it. You will know. You know, pads are different thicknesses, they're different densities of foam, that it's different sizes. They not tapered.
So these are tapered. So this is, what is this? Is this a 5-inch backing with like a 6-inch face?
Correct.
Would that be the,
correct. So that's basically what it is. That runs on a 125mm backing plate, comes out to 150mm.
And why does it flare out like that?
It's just the way that they've designed it. I would think it's got a lot to do with the balance and everything of it. And it also makes it easier to get into areas and things as well.
I see. So if you had your backing plate flush with that,
correct,
you're going to smash the backing plate up on
and
the
you're
paint.
going to have your front and everything else like that. So it is to help with the where you can get into areas.
So you've got a bit more safety on it as well, rather than getting really close if that's all
Correct.
flush and in line.
Correct.
And the hole, what does the hole do?
The hole's really just for lining it up.
Yeah.
Just for centralising it and things like that.
Okay.
It will help with cooling and things.
Okay, yeah.
All right. The beauty with the BigFoot, as opposed to a rotary polisher and everything, is you don't get the heat transfer as much. You know.
You're not heating up paint.
You're not heating up paint. When you come up to edges and everything else like that, you're not cutting through, burning through and everything, because you haven't got that fast aggressive action. You've got that random orbital action. So it's.
And does the circle help with the pad caving in or anything like that? Does it keep it nice and flush, or just literally just for heat and
it's just,
lining it up?
just for heating things like that, and just lining it up. The pads have a centre hole in them. The thing is, they don't have side handles or anything like that on them, because you don't want to be using the tool like that on an angle. It's designed for even downward pressure. Use the pad as flat as you can. Obviously you can't do that everywhere, but as much as you can. And basically, if you've got your pad like that, you've got too much weight on it.
Right.
So if you see that this is starting to compress,
if that's starting to compress,
and you're going to get
you'll get
stalling
pad
into it.
you'll get the stall as well.
All right.
So how much of the vehicle do you think, the LHR15, how much of a vehicle do you reckon you could get around with easily if this was just the one polisher in someone's arsenal?
Oh, crikey. I think you'd probably do a good 90% of it, to be fair. Yeah, you can. You're going to obviously have a bit of rotation, stall and things like that in areas, and there's going to be small areas where you're going to have to do by hand with a little bit of compound.
Yeah, around like door jams and handles.
Inside handles and that, but that's pretty common now anyway.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you go to something like the iBrid Nano.
Yeah. And so what's the difference between the 15 and the 75?
Right, so the 75, obviously the obvious difference is it only has a 75mm pad.
Yeah.
Okay. These have a 12mm orbit. All right. Still variable speed.
Okay.
Non-variable trigger.
Right.
Okay, so it's just on
set and forget.
a set, and then you run it off your dial. Okay.
So you turn it on, and then you've got your 1, 2, 3.
Then you've got your 1, 2, 3.
Which will ramp it up.
Yeah. Now with all the Rupes BigFoot range and everything, you generally start on a low speed, usually about 2. Okay. You manoeuvre the compound around, and then you turn it up to get it to the right speed where the balance and everything's right.
Do you find that there's a sweet spot for that cutting, or it's just dependent on the car?
No, there is, and it's definitely to do with tool speed and everything, pressure. Obviously, the pad and the compound you're using, what you're doing. Obviously, the more aggressive pads and the more aggressive compounds are a bit harder to control than the likes of the the fine and things.
So basically, the difference is just the pad size.
Basically, the pad
They're
size.
going to cut and polish exactly the same.
So if we can get around 90% of the vehicle with this, we might get ourselves to what, 97, 98 with
Correct,
with the
correct.
combination
You
of
can
these
get
two
around your
machines.
bumpers and that a bit more, and around your tailgates, around your cant rails, things like that, down your pillar posts and that, which you can do with a 15, but you're just going to have a little bit more nicer control on that. With that.
So this is the 15, I'm not sure if you guys can see there, and this is the 75. So the 15 is definitely a lot heavier, well it's a bigger machine than the 75, and then if I flip it around, there's the pad size difference.
Yeah, so if we bring it a little bit closer, we've got, you see the smaller pad here and the larger one, so...
And the power cables are all sort of pretty long, so you'll be able to get round a good chunk of your car without having to have extensions and stuff like that. This one has the variable trigger there with your different speeds there, and this one just has the on and off switch with your variable speed at the back there. And then the last one is the Nano. Tell us about that one.
Well, the Nano is the iBrid version, battery operated mini Bigfoot. They come in two sizes, which they've got a long neck and a short neck. We've found that the most popular is the long neck, more so because it can get in underneath boot spoilers, that sort of stuff, roof racks and what have you. Into your bumper, where some of the bumpers have got the wide open mouth in the front of them, they can get in around those areas and everything.
So this is the long neck version here?
This is the long neck,
Okay.
So the beauty with this machine is it basically is 3 tools in one.
Right.
Okay. It has the rotary advantage, so you can switch this to a rotary machine, so it's got no random orbit, it's just spinning. All right, now where that comes into its own, this tool is designed for doing your edge work, and with the rotary on it, that's where you do your edge work around the car. Okay, because you can get in close. All right. It's not aggressive because it's battery operated. You're not putting a heap of weight on it. It's not, you know.
So you would go around and you would edge a panel, and then you'd grab one of these machines and then do the big chunk of the panel.
Correct.
Right. So that's the use for that.
Yeah. So this is the use of that, and then you have a 3mm and a 5mm random orbit head that attaches onto it.
Onto there.
Okay. They're colour coded and everything, so you know what they are. Comes with a couple of batteries, the different pad sizes and everything else like that. And this runs a 70mm pad and a 40mm pad.
Okay.
And so how long does your battery last?
20 minutes, and there's 2 of them, so you basically got 20-minute cycle. It takes 20 minutes to charge it.
Gotcha.
So
So leave one on the
right,
charge.
leave one on the charge.
So you're always going to have one
You've always
going.
got one. The other beauty with this machine is it's actually got a plug-in advantage.
So you can run a cord if you
so
want.
you can run it on a cord. Okay, it's got a power pack that plugs in the back. Run it to a lead, so you can actually run it off a power lead.
And has this got variable trigger as well, like these?
No, it's basically on with this trigger. Like that's where you turn it off and on.
Yeah.
Here, so that's your variable speed control.
Yeah.
All right. It's on with that trigger, and unfortunately, looks like this one's got a flat battery.
That's right. We got another one.
That's right.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Let's have a feel.
I might just
Okay,
I'll
so
change
this
up my camera angle for
this is not as heavy as the others, and there's our variable trigger there, and we've got like an on-off switch, and then we've got our numbers 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, which is your variable speed.
Variable speed with the long neck, and there's our pads on there. This is a nice little device.
It's a must for your high-end detailers and everything.
Yeah, who really want to get into the nitty-gritty of
Yeah.
cutting and things
Anyone
like that.
who's serious about detailing their vehicles, and they own those.
So there you have it. We've had a play with all of the 3 machines here. We've learned about some of the basics as to using these, some of the things that you don't want to do, and definitely some of the things that you do want to do. In particular, some of the combinations of the different products. So I've got a far better understanding myself now. I feel a bit more confident to start on.
And just talking with Bevan, I feel safe that I can go home with some products and I'm not going to do any damage to the paint. I'm not going to blow through clear coat. It's given me confidence to do this in my own garage, you know.
Well, I hope so, because I don't want any complaints about my training or anything.
Absolutely, training has been absolutely fantastic. So the plan from here on out, guys, is Wyatt Machine Tools has been kind enough to send us home with a couple of boxes with these 2 machines here. So we're going to play with them in the garage. We're going to get really comfortable with the use for them, and we're going to hopefully wrap this all up by the end of September with a full detailed series on the
the blue 2007 WRX. So time on the tools is definitely important for us so we get confident and we can deliver some good content for you guys, and hopefully we do this correctly.
Yeah, exactly. It's just take your time, you know, you don't have to rush.
Absolutely.
It's not a race.
Yeah. So if you have any questions at all about any of the content today, feel free to drop a comment below. We'll, if we can't answer it, we'll get in touch with Bevan here and we'll get some answers for you. Otherwise, you know, huge thanks to Wyatt Group for supplying the time and the training today.
Much appreciated. Really appreciate it. So thank you so much for that.
No, thanks very much for Omni Garage for coming down, and great to meet you guys. And,
absolutely.
Let's do some more in the future as well.
So if you're interested in any of these tools or any of the products that we've used today, wyatt.co.nz, or check the link in the description below and you'll be able to find the whole range here, including all the kits, all the individual products. So thanks for watching Omni Garage today. Stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because there is plenty more comment on these Rupes polishers to come.